When things get a little chaotic in your life, do you ride the chaos wave, or do you do everything you can to insert all the control and see if you can control the wave of chaos? Well, here's a little tip for those that do the second one. You might have a lot more fun if you get on the wave of chaos and actually start to use that chaos to your advantage. That's what we're talking about today. Here's a few little tips and tricks for you to start to integrate the gift of chaos in your life. So for me, I've talked a lot about summer recently in some of these videos and the joy of summer and the creation of it. What I also notice for myself and a lot of people I know is that there's an element of chaos that shows up in the summer. People are off their routines, they're off their schedules. And how much are schedules and routines actually a way to create control and to create autoresponders in our lives? When you're in the creative chaos, you have a less capacity to function on autopilot. It's actually a demand of you to be more present. So number one is actually to get more present. What if you saw chaos as when your life starts to become really chaotic, as an invitation for you to get dynamically more present in your life, with your body, with all the things going on. Present does not mean that you are hyper focused or hyper vigilant or hyper anything. Present is really high. It's being present. It's being in the present. It allows you to have more awareness of what's going on. And what if you didn't have to control your awareness? What if you could be aware of all the moving elements and not have to do anything about everything that you're aware of? Sometimes you might actually have to be that demand of yourself. I'm going to be present here no matter what. Because I do see a lot of people going to check out. So being out of control with chaos isn't like allowing chaos to control you, because that's just another form of control. Out of control means that you're not controlling, but also nothing's controlling you. See the difference? So when you're really like using chaos to advantage and riding the wave, chaos isn't controlling the show. You're not controlling the show. It's actually more of a sexy dance you could be having that could add a creative element to your life. So again, tip number one is to get more present. When things start to get really chaotic in your life, demand to be more present. You might want to do a body presence exercise. We have a video for that. We'll link in this video. Getting present with your body often creates you getting present in your life. So yay. Demand that presence. Be present, and you're going to notice it's actually a lot more fun riding the wave of chaos when you're present than when you are getting caught up in the tide and getting pushed around. Because you're riding the wave, you're not being pushed around by the wave. Tip number two, to create ease with the chaos, is to relax. Now, if you have a tendency to be a control freak and you want to control everything, that might be the worst piece of advice I've ever given you, and you might want to turn off this video right now. How can I possibly relax when like everything is falling apart and everything is total chaos? Oh! But when you relax, you can actually be aware of a lot more things. When you relax, you can receive a lot more. When you relax, you actually have more capacity to create with this chaotic energy. Relaxation is such a dynamic tool to use with the magic of chaos. So now I lost my train of thought. Back. It's so funny because what I was going to say that totally left my mind was that when you get into this creative chaos play, often your mind will go out to lunch. And that's what just happened to me. A beautiful example of tip number 3. Let your mind go out to lunch. It can't keep up. Okay. So the mind wants things linear and controlled. And that is a total choice. You could live your whole life very linearly, very controlled. I find a lot more fun to be in the creativity, the chaos, the change, the transformation. I love when things show up out of order, out of linearity, when, you know, you meet someone and it's like you've only spent 5 minutes with them, but you know them, like they're your best friend, like you've had multiple lifetimes with them. Well, that's totally out of order. You shouldn't be able to create connection that fast. I love when more money shows up than it's supposed to in my life. I love when I, in a period of 30 minutes, create more than most people do in a day. That's using the chaos, that's riding the wave of chaos rather than living an ordered, structured life. For a lot of people that I affectionately call humanoids would say that the living with the chaos, as the chaos, is a lot more fun. And when they try to compress themselves into the order and the control, that's when they start to get really bored and really unhappy, and usually weird body stuff comes up. So if you notice, like, your mind can't keep up when things get really, really chaotic, and that might bring up something for you, like my mind can't keep up, and you might be making your intelligence wrong. It's intelligence and mind are different. Okay. Your brilliance and your intelligence is still there. It's intact. It will show up in those moments when you require it. The mind is just a calculating system to figure out all the judgments, right, wrong, good, bad, this, next, put things in order, put things in the judgment process, put things in order. Control. That's what your mind's good for. So if you actually let your mind go out to lunch, let it just go. Like, whoop, bye. And you ride that wave of chaos. Oh, just try it. Try it and tell me if it's a lot more fun for you. And it's okay for your mind to go. It's okay. Bye, mind. Okay, 2 more things for this little tippy tip one is expand. The more expanded you are, and I've done a few expansion exercises on this channel, so check out those videos too if you'd like. The more expanded you are, the more ease you have with the multitude of things changing and transforming and all of this beautiful creative chaos. And with that creative chaos, there's also a destructive element. Chaos can essentially burn out of existence the limitations that aren't working for you. And when we're trying to control how fast those limitations go, how they go, when they go, that can be tricky. When you expand beyond, and you allow the chaos to do its magic, things can show up for you a lot faster and unexpectedly and a lot more fun. And then the last tip that I wanted to give you was to actually be with this question. And so I wrote it down for you. So ask, how can I use this chaos as a generative source for a greater life and living for me? How can you use this chaos as a generative source for a greater life and living for you? Again, that puts you in the riding the wave rather than the wave taking you away. It's not about, okay, I surrender. Like, I'll just be that. Have you ever seen like an ocean and the waves are really powerful and really coming and something's just being tossed around in it, or someone? That's what some people do. They either do control and then they go to the other side and then they go, okay, fine, I surrender, and they get tossed around. What if you could ride the wave like a surfer, like a dolphin, like a magical sea creature? You could ride that wave. You could use that wave of chaos. Allow the chaos to be a generative source for more. Allow the chaos to burn out of existence all of the limitations, the stops, the discomfort, the dis-ease. And be in that play with the chaos, that joy with the chaos, that creation, that creativity with the chaos that you are truly capable of if you are willing to choose it. Now, I'm not saying you can't have schedules, you can't have routines, you can't have those things. Do whatever works for you. I do know is that if you start putting these things in place so that you can be less present in your life and you can function on autopilot, that usually, eventually will start to create things in your life that you will not enjoy. Find your happy space with all of this. How much chaos is joyful for you? How much order do you require in your life to have the peace and stability that you require? And you might notice that actually more chaos is more enlivening to you than you've ever thought. That doesn't mean that order or stability are wrong, but it might actually be just a very thin line of that you require and desire in your life. And then you have this universe of creative chaos available to you as a source for creating your life and your living, your body, your money, all the things. I hope this video is a contribution. Please let me know in the comments below if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you'd like to see more of this, if you have questions and I can address those questions on further videos. I would love to hear, what are you curious about? What conscious infusions are you exploring, and what would you like me to contribute to you? Thanks so much. Like the video, hit the bell, do all the things, share it with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.